Now we're going to make the conclusion for the parasha Miketz, and there are some points I would like to show which are very interesting, and you should take note of it because it's very important to understand the principle. The Torah teaches principles which are timeless. They are valid even today. Okay, so I want to show that now. The brethren of Joseph are before him, and he will inquire of him. He will search their heart to see how they condition today, 20 years later. I have explained that these 20 years represent the 2000 years between the first coming of Yeshua and the last coming. This is a period of time in which Christianity has gone its way, and now in this day, the last days, Jehovah is taking the people out of the church to bring them back to the true way, which is the Torah. Now we will see some points, and I will quote it. He asked them where they are coming from. He explained them, and we will see that in the parasha they come 2 times. And he said, I will read. And Joseph in the chapter 42, verse 14, and Joseph said to them, "That is it that I speak unto you, saying you are spies." He accused them to spying. He wanted to find a pretext to see who is their true nature. "Hereby you shall be proved. By the life of Pharaoh you shall not go forth, except your youngest brother come hither." So now he will put them away. He will tell them, unless your youngest brother Benjamin come, he will not go. "Send one of you, let him fetch your brother. You shall be kept in prison, that your words may be proved, whether there be any truth in you, or else by the life of Pharaoh surely you are spies." So you see, this is the deal. You bring a Benjamin, and I will know if you are really sincere in what you are doing. And he put them all together in ward or in jail 3 days. 3 days. And Joseph said unto them, the 3rd day, this do and leave, for I fear Elohim. You see, the 3 days is very, very important, because it is in the Brit Hadasha, we see it again, 3 days and 3 nights, the 3rd days, 3 days, the 3rd days. We have it. We will see later in another parasha in the book of Exodus or the Shemot that there is a commandment for cleansing, because in the 3rd day, and so on. Here he say, Joseph said unto them, the 3rd day, this do and live, for I fear him. This is a picture of the millennium. The 3rd day in the understanding is a picture of the millennium. 2 days represent the 2000 years between the first and second coming, and the 3rd days in the time of restoration. If you be true, let one of your brethren be bound in the house of your prison. Go you carry corn for the famine of your houses, but bring your youngest brother unto me, so shall your words be verified, and you shall not die. And they did so. Remember, I say that the youngest brother is the brother of Joseph by Chael, which is a picture of the true Kehillah, the true assembly, excuse me, the true assembly in Mashiach Yehoshua, not a senate, but Chael. So now they will go and they will have to speak to Yaakov. They will have to speak to Yaakov in order to convince him. So now the brother of Joseph will have to go back to Yaakov and to tell him that they need to bring Benjamin with them to bring him before Joseph. And what is interesting, the charge is given to Judah. I don't go into the detail because before Reuben offered himself, but then Judah come, and I read what the Torah say. I don't want to put my words. And he said in the chapter 43, and Yehuda or the Judah say unto Israel, which is Jacob, his father, send the lad with me, and we'll arise and go, that we may live and not die. both we and thou, and also our little ones. I will be surety for him. Of my hand shall you require him. If I bring him not unto you and set him before you, then let me bear the blame forever. For except we had lingered, surely now we have returned this second time. You see, Judah said that he will give himself as a guarantee to bring back Benjamin to the father, Yaakov. Now this is very interesting because today, Judah, as we know it, and as many make mistake when they look at like Judah or the Israel or the Jew, don't forget that since before the coming of Yeshua, Judah has been spoiled. Judah is compound from Benjamin, Levi, and do not forget Edom. Edom is part of Judah today. Many Edomites are among the so-called Jew. We need to understand that because in the last day this will have an important position in the eyes of Elohim. So today Judah is not the Judah we see in the story. Judah is a compound group of different groups. But he commanded to bring back Benjamin, which is the son of the right hand. So this means among Judah there will be some who are some of the right and the other will not be. So they will be refined. They will have to go through the fire. And we will see, as we have quoted in the book of the prophet Yirmiyahu, in the chapter 30, I will read, it is very important. He says here, the word that came to Yirmiyahu from Jehovah, saying, thus speak Jehovah Elohim of Israel, saying, write thee all the words that I have spoken to you in a book. For lo, the days come, say Jehovah, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Israel and Judah. You see here, we speak from Israel and Judah, two groups of people. Says Jehovah, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their father, and they shall possess it. This land has been given to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is the land of Canaan, not Palestine, as it is called today. And these are the words that Jehovah spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. Again, two groups. For thus say Jehovah, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask you now and see whether a man does travel with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman travel, and all faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. You see here, it's very interesting because in a few verses before he spoke of the house of Judah and the house of Israel, but here he speaks about the house of Jacob. If you go to the book of Luke, excuse me, chapter 1, you will see that when the Malach, the messenger, the angel, Gabriel, spake to Miriam, he told her that the child that she will have, she will call him Yehoshua, and he will save his people, and he will rule over the house of Jacob, the house of Jacob, forever. This is very important to understand because the house of Jacob is 12 tribes. 12 tribes. And those who want to change that, they cannot. They will be put to shame. Yeshua never came to build the Christianity, to build the church. He never came. He came to restore the house of Jacob. The problem of Judah today, if you listen to those who want to deny that Yeshua is Mashiach, they will tell you that he has not fulfilled what he should have done. This means to assemble or to bring back together the all 12 tribes. Yes, this is. But what they don't see is that this is made in 2 steps. And they have missed the first step. because Yeshua, in the apparel of Jesus, had to go among the pagans in order to bring back Ephraim, the house of Israel, into the covenant. This is what people do not see. This is what is part of the story in the life of Joseph. Joseph was in the land of Egypt, and from there, he restored the house of Jacob. And we will see in the next parasha how he will do, and how he reigned in the land of Egypt, and how he has a control in the land of Egypt. So this is very important to understand. For us today, the same situation. Judah is pulling from his side. We are the right one because we have the Torah. We are the true people of God. And on the other side, we have Ephraim who say, no, we are the right one because we have Yeshua and we have the Torah. But both need one another in order to fulfill the prophecy. Judah needs Ephraim. Ephraim needs Judah. So this is the situation today. As long as we are not reconciled, as it was in the time of Joseph, when Judah took the leadership in order to come before Joseph, to humble himself before Joseph, then this will not be. We see in the book of Zechariah, the prophet Zechariah, we see something which is known to everyone. Everyone today knows this verse from the house of from Zechariah in the chapter 12. What is very interesting, we should look it in the right way. I will read it as it is in the King James Version and others, and after that I will correct it. And I will, in the verse 10, chapter 12, he said, and I will pour upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and of supplication. They shall look upon me whom they have pierced. And they shall mourn for him as one mourns for his only son, and shall be in bitterness for him as one that is in bitterness for his firstborn. Here it sounds like they will look upon God whom they have pierced. But it's not that it's written in the Hebrew. The Hebrew do not say that. The Hebrew said differently. Say, I will pour upon the house of David, upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the spirit of favors and of supplication, and they should look upon him, Yeshua, whom they have pierced, and they shall mourn for him as one mourns for his only son, and shall be in bitterness for him as one that is in bitterness for his firstborn. This is how it will be. When Jehovah will pour out the spirit of supplication and favors upon Yehudah, then they will realize that this Jesus is not Jesus, is Yeshua. We will see that in the next parasha, when Joseph revealed himself unto his brethren. They don't recognize him. They don't recognize Joseph. They don't even imagine in their mind that it is possible that this pagan prince that on the throne is their brother Joseph. He looks pagan, he has a pagan children, he has a pagan wife. But they will be very surprised when they will see that this Joseph, that this man, prince from Egypt, is their brother Joseph. So this will be the same when Judah will see that Jesus is not Jesus, but is Yeshua, the true Mashiach, who never broke the Torah, who never taught people to break the Torah. But the pagans outside have taught this breaking the Torah, not Yeshua. Okay, so this is there is much more to say about that. You can read in the parasha, and we will make other video concerning also the lineage from the book of Matthew and the book of Luke, and I will show you why I believe that the genealogy from the book of Luke is a true genealogy, and the one from Matthew is a letter add, and it cannot work. I will explain that in a video. So for today, we see now Judah has come before his brother Joseph in order to bring back Benjamin to his father. So in the next parasha, we see the outcome of his story, and you will see that Jehovah alone reigns, and that he has make it embedded in the Torah for us to do today, to learn what is very important, to know that Yeshua is Mashiach. Shalom.